Hi travelers, Tara here, Hidden Lotus Tarot, and I'm coming to you today with a general reading for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Today is January 19th, 2017. Please keep in mind that this is a general reading, so the messages will not resonate with everyone, in which case I ask that you please check back to your Moon and Rising sign as they are posted. You can also look at the sun, moon, and rising signs of those people that you are involved with. Let me see. I do readings 6 days a week. If you think you'd like to purchase a personal reading from me, you can always click on the little banner up in the right-hand corner. That'll take you directly over to my website. I do ask before you book or you make payment that you please read the important information on booking because it will explain a lot of things to you. We are still under the Mercury direct shadow, which will end on the 28th of January. We will also be having the new moon in Aquarius on that day. New moons are beginnings. This is going to be great, I think, because for those of you who've been feeling kind of stuck or on slow go because Mercury has been is coming out of its retrograde phase, I think this is going to be a really great opportunity to start fresh and anew on some projects or things that you've been wanting to work on. I have already pre-shuffled the cards, and two cards have already presented themselves. The 10 of Coins, which is the card of legacy, family, inheritances, property, things built up over time. And then what flew out of the deck was the Queen of Cups in reverse. So I'm not exactly sure if some of you are dealing with a water sign individual. If not, then this would be someone perhaps that you have an emotional attachment or, and I don't mean that in the sense of, uh, but someone that you're emotionally tied to. Let's put it that way. But she has shown up reversed. I don't normally read reverse cards, but I'm going to leave her as she is because that is how she presented herself. For those of you who are new to the channel, I want to thank you for joining me. For those of you who've been with me for over these past couple of years, I want to thank you for sticking with me into 2017. All right, let's go ahead and get the rest of the cards down. I am using the Rider-Waite Radiant White. I have the Angel Answer cards, the La Vida Sibila, and the Sibila Indovina with me today. 9 cards. We have Queen of Swords, 5 of Wands, Ace of Wands, 7 of Cups, 8 of Wands, the Strength card, and the Death card. And underneath the deck, I have the Ace of Coins. Well, for those of you who don't know anything about the tarot, it is broken into 2 separate groups. We have what are known as the major arcana cards, and these are going to be the cards that are known as Strength, Death, Judgment, the Sun, the Lovers. Those cards are representative of life lessons or spiritual lessons. And then you have what are known as the pip cards, and these are going to be your aces, which are considered to be number ones, okay, all the way up through number 10, which is the end of the suit. And then it will include your court cards, like you have the 2 queens, queens, kings, pages, and knights. The numbered pip cards and the court cards are considered to be on mundane things that you have to go through. Right in the center, I have the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands simply speaks to some new type of energy coming in. All aces represent new things coming in or new opportunities coming in. And basically they are just that. They are opportunities. They don't mean that, you know, things are going to be hunky-dory. It's simply an opportunity. And like any opportunity, you know, being in the right place at the right time, or fortune favors the bold, so to speak. You want to be in the right place at the right time, and all the conditions are are conducive to you really taking a hold of this opportunity and moving forward with it in a positive manner. Now, the way the cards are read are past, present, and future, past, present, and future. Here, this card does represent Leo. It is the strength card. I also have, in numerology, we do what we call, in tarot, we use numerology as well. So we have two eights here. We have the Eight of Wands and the strength card, which is also numbered as number 8. Typically, two eights in a spread speak to news that will affect the relationship. And this could be any type of relationship. We are in the Jupiter in Libra cycle. This runs from October 2016 to October 2017. And it is all about partnerships, business partnerships, romantic partnerships, familial partnerships, friendships. It is all about partnerships. Now, I can see that for some of you, I'm looking at perhaps what may have been um, a situation in which there were people who have been together over a period of time. This is what the Ten of Coins. If you look at the imagery, there's a couple there. There's a man, there's a woman, there's an elderly man there, there's a child, there's dogs. So this is indicative of a either a group or a family or an association that has been around for a long time. This is about things built up over time. I see that I have this Queen of Cups reversed. Now, in her reversed energy, the Queen of Cups can be somebody who's extremely moody, highly manipulative, um, can be very, very secretive, and might even, because she's in her reversed energy, may have some type of addiction issues. Now, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Swords has presented herself right after. The Queen of Swords would represent an air sign individual. She would be Gemini, Libra, and or Aquarius. She would also be someone who might be a doctor, a surgeon, a dentist, in the military, the police, a police officer. Um, someone who has to do with authoritative types of work. She can also indicate someone who is in the profession of writing, publishing, a communicator. She can also be looked at as a judge, in the sense that she herself is holding a representation of the Sword of Justice or the Ace of Swords. So this card is about being aware. It is about truth, realizations, and communications. It is about, sometimes she can have the energy of being someone who can be quite cutting and biting with her words. But on the flip side of that, she is someone that you can go to for advice, and she's going to give you a very, very clear, objective view of whatever it is that you're dealing with. Her emotions are not always involved in the way that her thinking processes or her decision-making processes operate. Um, Now, I can see across the center, I have the Five of Wands, and this is representative of the energy of Saturn in Leo. And Saturn is all about restrictions and limitations, responsibilities, obligations, about making sure that whatever is built up over time will stand the test of time. In the center, but the Leo is an outgoing, gregarious energy. It can be highly self-focused, but Leo also rules over the natal chart of babies, lovers, millennials, younger groups. Okay, so it is the house of children, babies, and lovers and hobbies. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, in the center with the Ace of Wands, this does tell me that there's some new energy or something new trying to come about right now. The wands are representative of your ambition and your desires, your wants. How do you go about um, tackling the problems that you have, or how do you go about doing those things that you choose to accomplish? We see that I also have the Seven of Cups here. Now, the Seven of Cups is representative of the energy of Venus and Scorpio. Venus is the lover. She does represent the beauty, the love, the wealth, the income, the women. But Venus can sometimes be a fickle lover in the sense that she was married to Vulcan, but she had an affair with Adonis. She had an affair with, oh God, several. She even had children um, outside of the marriage. But the energy of Venus and Scorpio is one of those energies where it really isn't something superficial. It is something that is felt on a very, very, very deep level. Almost it could be to the point of obsession, but it can also speak to um, having uh, with the Seven of Cups, having so many choices and options that you're not quite exactly sure what it is you need to be focused on, or what you should be choosing, or what is the right thing for you. The imagery of the card is this particular figure is having a nightmare, and what he's looking at are all of these different things that he's got going on. But this card can also be an indication of someone who is fantasizing a lot, who is daydreaming a lot. And granted, it's great to have fantasies and daydreams, but once if they are interfering with your daily life, that can be causing, problems. I've also seen this to represent illusions and delusions. And again, it could be tied to the fact that maybe perhaps someone has a drinking or substance abuse issue. Because it is a cups card, I have these two cup cards here. The cups simply represent emotions, not necessarily love, because hate is an emotion, happiness is an emotion, sadness is an emotion. So it is representative of some type of emotional component. And I can see that there is, whenever I see the Seven of Cups show up, it kind of speaks to confusion. Now I come down to the Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Wands is the card. It really, it's not a difficult card to interpret. It just simply says that something is happening, or happened, or will be happening at a very, very fast rate. Typically, when you see the Eight of Wands, can be known as love at first sight, the arrows of love. It speaks to messages and news coming in. It speaks to travel, particularly by air. But normally when this card shows up, it says that something comes in quite suddenly. And usually, whatever this thing is, it is of a positive nature. Now, the Eight Wands are flying into the Strength card. And the Strength card is the card about um, getting a handle on your emotions, and trying to work with trying to get a balance on that, and keeping those in range so that you can come from a place, so to speak, of balance. Okay. It can also be the card about taking a risk. And the reason why that is if you can see that she is opening the jaws of this lion. She's sticking her mouth in, but this is also about subduing your passions, or maybe it could be about subduing your strength, or your, oh, it's hard to say, but it's about subduing the animal instinct. That's what I'm trying to say. To subdue it, to corral it, and to get a handle on it. And sometimes you have to do that in a gentle way. You see, she's not forcing the lion's mouth open. She's not beating it. She's not threatening it. She's simply just doing whatever it is that she needs to do. But then we end with the Death card. And the Death card speaks to endings, transformation, being on the verge of a transformation. It is like the chrysalis state of the butterfly. We know that the butterfly, the caterpillar, comes one way. He encloses himself in this cocoon. He stays within it for a certain time period. But then when it's time for him to release, he comes out, but he is completely transformed into something else. It also speaks to endings. Now, I can see perhaps that for some of you, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, that there has been some arguments and fights, because sometimes this is what this card is all about. This could be arguments and fights over property, money, charities, the family unit, okay? Sometimes this card will show up because it represents Leo, and Leo does represent the fifth house of children, babies, and lovers. This could be literally fighting like children, or this could be fights over perhaps property and money, and maybe even child custody and child support issues. I can see that whatever this 10 of wands, I'm sorry, this 10 of coins is speaking about, whatever this situation is, it came about quite suddenly. Okay, like it devolved into this, we went from this to everybody being comfortable around each other, because as you can see, they know each other. You see how comfortable they are around in the picture itself. And so all of a sudden now we've got these fights going on, okay? And perhaps these are public fights, because Jupiter is not only, I'm sorry, Libra is not only the house of marriage, it is also in partnership. It can also turn into the house of open enemies. Um, and perhaps what this is saying is that maybe there have been fights and arguments going on, public arguments and fights, and somebody leaving the picture quite suddenly. This reverse Queen of Cups. Now, if this is not representative of a water sign individual, which would be a Cancer, a Scorpio, or a Pisces, it is simply speaking to the energy of the emotional component, someone being emotionally upside down, okay? And the ace cards are always yeses in the tarot. So I would say that yes, indeed, someone is emotionally upside down. But at the same time, I think they're working on trying to get a handle on that. Okay. Because whatever these fights and arguments are, there's a lot of confusion and a lot of emotion and passion behind it. The wands will typically represent work. But at the same time, I kind of look at the wands like an emotional component. Why? Because they describe your fighting spirit, your passion, your drive, your ambition, what do I need to do to get in there and do whatever it is, and I'm gonna take whatever it's gonna take. I'm gonna get in there and I'm gonna do it. So to me, they kind of speak to an emotional component as well. So the ace in their center tells me that yes, this is a situation in which there has been fighting surrounding perhaps a marriage or some type of partnership, something that has been in existence for quite a while, things being built up. There's been some fighting going on, and maybe there have even been messages back and forth, a lot of heated arguments, messages passing back and forth, because like I said, this could be about messages as well. Because they're wands, we could say that there's been a lot of perhaps nasty words going back and forth between two people, literally flying through the air. In one respect, again, I would say that's true, because I have the Queen of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the Eight of Wands. This is indeed about some type of heated communication going back and forth, or coming in at whomever they are directed at. I would say in one respect it would be directed at you, Leo, because the arrows are pointed here at the Leo card. It looks as though, if I'm looking at the vertical future column here, this queen is representative. If it is not a person, let's say a mediator has come in, maybe you've gone to, maybe you're actually about to go to court, and this person is going to come in and clear up all of this confusion here. Going to come in effect, kind of make the determination of what's the best thing. If this involves child custody, if this is a divorce situation or separation, child custody, it is going to be, I think, about what is in the best interest of the child or the children. See, there's a bunch of confusion here. 10 of coins over to the 7 of cups to the 8. And it's like it showed up out of the blue. That's kind of the message that I'm getting. Is that whatever this situation is, it's like it showed up literally out of the blue. Now, because I have the 2 queens here, I don't know if this is 2 women arguing with each other, which could be like maybe a mom and a daughter. It could be two friends. This could be two business partners, two people who have been in business together, and now one person's all upside down. Um, and it's going to fall to this queen to straighten it out. As we can see, she comes with the death card. So in other words, it's like this queen of swords here is going to put an end to the whole situation. Um, Even with this, okay, the cards are saying with the 10 of coins, yeah, okay, we've been in this partnership together. Yeah, we got a lot of things built up, but you know what? It's time for that shit to change and it's time for it to end. Okay. And it is going to be a new way of doing things. That's what that says to me. And the only way that it can be done in a new manner is to either get rid of the old that no longer serves me. Okay. And if that means I got to get rid of all of this stuff that I built up, then that's what I'm going to do. Why? Because this is a new opportunity for me to take a different path. As you can see the pathway there in the background. Now, the coins will sometimes are representative of finances, but they are also represent the physical plane. So in other words, it's again the message of a new way of doing things. It is the actual doing of the work. Now, for some of you, this could be that you may be leaving your job. You may be leaving your job because it no longer fulfills you in the way that you felt it was. Because this could be two people here. I mean, this could be the same two aspects of the same person. And they are showing up upside down because whatever they've been in, whatever organization or partnership or group that they've been in, is really making them feel quite yucky. I don't know another word to describe it like that. And so this is someone who's trying to regain, okay, themselves. They're trying to regain their emotional balance and regain their self-control and regain the control over which direction in which they choose to go in. All right. This could be having fights with people because nobody wants to listen. Here, I'm trying to show you, or I'm trying to tell you the way I view it. Maybe these people aren't willing to listen, but you can also see she's inviting them to come in and speak and give her their truth. Okay. But there's some discord there. So this could even be about being in the position of a boss. And there's a lot of infighting among your team as to which direction you should go on. There's a lot of confusion. This could even be about a shakeup here of a company or a corporation, maybe a buyout of some sort. This could be maybe a splitting up of the company or the division of things within that work context. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and the overall energy of this reading is this Ace of Pentacles. If this is occurring, whether this is in a work relationship, a familial relationship, and or a romantic relationship, because this could be the two varying scenarios that I gave you. Perhaps these are two business partners, or perhaps this is one person. Perhaps this is about a relation. It is some type of partnership ending, but we also know that it's going to transform a situation. So this would apply whether this is heterosexual or same-sex. Okay. This could also be that this particular Queen of Swords here may not be willing to listen to other people, and that's creating some discord. So it could play out either way, but we see that it ends. There's a definite ending here. But as we know, with all endings, they are also beginnings. I tend to think that it is more so simply about someone not, that the situation no longer works for them, period. That's why this Queen of Cups has presented herself upside down. she is at a loss, emotional loss. She has nothing left to give in this situation. She may have tried to manipulate it the best way that she could, but it just looks as though, you know, it's just not working. And if this is not the situation of someone kind of being at the end of their emotional tether, then this is dealing with someone who is emotionally out of balance. Okay. And maybe this Queen of Swords is someone else in the picture who's saying, look, you know, here's the truth of the situation. You're completely out of balance, and this isn't going to work. You know, there's too many fights and confusion going on around this situation. And I think this last row, the future row, is saying that there is going to be news that's going to come quite suddenly, perhaps right after we get out of this Mercury direct shadow phase. And whatever that news is, it's going to affect the outcome, and the outcome will be some type of ending or some type of transformation of the situation. Okay. This is the future row, and what you're being asked to do right now is to try to keep a little self-control. This could be about, like Donald Trump, don't be sending a whole bunch of messages out right now. Try to gain control over what your thoughts are and the direction in which you're going and the messages. If you do have to communicate, you know, have some control over what's being said or how it's being said or how it's being presented. I do feel in one respect that there is some kind of trip coming up here. I think that this person has, in a sense, maybe gained an upper hand. Why? Because she is really a communicator. That's what her job, that's who she is at her core. And there's been a victory for her in some sense. Okay. And maybe this could be, if this is two aspects of the same person, maybe this is this person finally being able to get whatever it was off their chest or say whatever, since they've been feeling like this. But all of whatever this confusion is or this inability to make a choice, that's what's going to come to an end, period. All right, let's take a look at this Five of Wands here. Now, what I have is the Amante, the male lover. The Consolante Sorpresa, this is a consolation. And then I have the Domestico. So if this is a romantic relationship, what I'm talking about, what I'm dealing with is perhaps a partner. He is in the past position, so this kind of tells me that maybe there is a fight or separation between the two. There's some arguments, people not being on the same page, different temperaments, that perhaps that we are at this point with the Consolante Sorpresa. Well, you know, the situation is bad, but it's not that bad. Okay. And maybe this is someone rethinking, perhaps coming back to renegotiate or to review. This is Mercury and Sagittarius. And Mercury is the card of communications, but Sagittarius is about having a more expansive view of a situation. Now, the thing about the Domestico is he can become a collaborator. So I have three men in this, or three male energies. Let me put it that way. And it could be that this card, which is saying, you know, it wasn't that bad. Okay. But you want to be cautious with the Domestico if he returns, because it kind of is indicative of someone who may not be all above board. Why are they coming back? Why are they being so sweet? What is the nature of this? What messages does the person have? What are they saying, really? We do have this Seven of Cups over here, so there could still be some confusing messages that may cause arguments and fights coming about. Let's take a look at this Seven of Cups. And see what it is trying to tell us. And then we're going to pull an angel answer card. I will say that if you recognize the situation, to sit tight because there is some kind of new opportunity coming in for you. Okay, but remember, it's just that, an opportunity. Yeah, it looks to be some kind of news surrounding finances or what we would consider to be a safe investment or security. And the reason why I say that is because I have the Costanza, the Messaggere. This is about a message from far away. It does not tell me whether this is a good message or bad. It just says that, perhaps you've received news, that you have been waiting, the Costanza, you've been faithful and waiting on to hear this news, that if the news has not come, it is on the way. There is still some confusion surrounding this. Maybe this is about, well, what am I going to get out of it? Because in the cup, we have the different cups. We have power, we have peace, we have wealth, we have a security. This is the house. It represents the tower, the house, the castle. We also have the snake here, which in one respect could be deception, or it could also be, because snakes shed their skin, it could be a transformation of a situation. Here we have the cup with the man or the angel, and this is self-realization. But then what is this? What do we get out of this? And sometimes this card can be about a self-realization. She, like I said, she represents the energy of Libra. And here we have the denari, the safe. Okay, this not only protects our valuables, okay, but it also is indicative of a situation in which there is some security in it, or whatever you deem to be secure. And maybe that's the issue, is that there's some confusion around, what does it take for me to be secure? What do I need to be secure? Am I going to get what I need to be secure? Or is security just an illusion? Okay, so let's go ahead and pull, there's a definite ending coming up here of some sort. And there's going to be a transformation. Yes, this was a great long-lasting relationship, but now it's time for that to come to an end. Now, this could also be, in some respects, perhaps the passing of someone who has left an inheritance or legacy. Maybe they've left property. Maybe they've actually left money. And that by itself will transform whatever situation that you are in. But you do have a new way of doing things about. This cycle is coming. This is a karma card. And it is about endings and beginnings. It represents both Pluto and Mars. So the fire energy backs up this Wands card. It also backs up this Wands card. Okay, and then Pluto is about the god of the underworld. This is about big, major changes. This could even be about some kind of change coming about to your financial status. Okay, something coming in out of the blue and changing that for you. It could be positive, it could be negative. I've been picking up the sense that with the new cabinet coming in, over the next couple of years, I think we're going to see a huge change in banking. I don't know if that means that the regulations are going to be done away with, but I think there's going to be a huge change in the way that we bank in this country within the next year or two. There is no timing in the tarot, and this could kind of maybe be a pre-warning into the end of 2017 going into 2018. For those of you, if you have investments, you might want to go and get right now you're all upset because your money's acting funny with the transition. And this card can sometimes be about going to get a counselor, somebody who's going to give you objective information on what you need to do to go forward. This could simply just be, instead of a breakup of something, it could be a loss in your finances. That portfolio that you had built up, there's so much crazy shit going on around it, and it changed rather rapidly. And maybe it required you to get on a plane and go talk to somebody about it. Now, let's pull one angel answer card. For those of you that this did not answer, your question or did not resonate with you, please formulate a question in your mind, and perhaps the angel answer card can answer it for you, or at least give you a little guidance. All right, so let's see what the cards have to say. I'll pull this one. It says, look for a sign. Look for a sign. And I would say, in one respect, perhaps if you got this energy of fights and discombobulation and confusion going on and differences of opinions, you know, indeed, try to look for some kind of sign. All right, that's what I have for you, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I hope those messages helped. And until next time, namaste.